Reselling life.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of This Is Your Reselling Life. Tonight, we've got one of our favourite Australian reselling couples, Drew and Sarah from Look Mum Husling, to tell us all about themselves and what's been happening in their world.
Okay, get them on.
All right, we'll get them up and start chatting. G'day, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, you're Australia's favourite reselling couple. We're like
About eight down the line.
We love you guys. So thanks. So thanks heaps for coming on. We really appreciate you taking some time out of your night, and I know you've got a dog sitter to keep Archie under control, which is awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Both from Sydney at the moment. Drew 31 and Sarah 30.
Yep.
And do you want to give us a little bit of an insight into where your journey started and how it all kicked off for you guys?
Yep. So I think we probably touched on this in one of our videos about how we were sort of not really inspired, but our parents or our mothers in particular took us to thrift stores or upshops, as we call it here in Australia, growing up.
Yeah.
Generally due to not a lot of cash or to drop on new fresh merch for school and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we were kind of used to going to op shops and buying secondhand goods and stuff. I've always been interested in like having side hustle and some sort of secondary income. And I sort of played with the idea of buying and flipping things on the side for a while. Pete, who's actually in the chat and dog sitting, him and I both sort of started and trying to sell a few things. We ended up buying a bunch of useless sort of books and 50 Shades of Grey and just weird stuff that never really sold, and it sort of petered off, no pun intended. And I figured Sarah would enjoy it, and she used to go op shopping and stuff as well, and it's more of like a couple thing, and for us to spend more time together as well. So I sort of put Pete to the wayside and Sarah into the fold.
And here I am. So I sort of like jumped in on the bandwagon a little bit on the later side, but like Drew was saying, like I've always like gone to op shops like throughout my whole teenage life, because as a emo kid you can't really find the clothes that you want to, so you just go to the find, I don't know, something that you can sort of, I used to like sew and
DIY
DIY my own clothes and everything from there. And it's sort of my loves from there's gone, and then I think we were moving from like a larger apartment to like a smaller apartment, and we had to like sell a whole bunch of stuff. And Drew was like,
we downsized a lot of our stuff, and we had a lot of DVDs. And like in this day and age with Netflix and all the streaming services, I'm like, why do we have DVDs? Like, they can degrade over time, they can scratch and stuff. They're just sitting here taking up space.
Yeah,
people still want them, but like we could sell them all, and like you sell 1 or 2 DVDs, you've got a month of Netflix sort of paid. So we sort of called a lot of the stuff that was unnecessary, stuff we loved, we kept. But it sort of just steamrolled from there. And then obviously a lot of people are probably familiar with the Gary V sort of challenge and trash talk and stuff like that in terms of getting out there and flipping stuff. So that was an extra sort of motivation to really kickstart everything. Yeah.
And just
That's
like
awesome.
went from there. Really.
Now you've got the bug.
Yeah.
As soon as we had like, even it was our own stuff, but as soon as we started selling it and then like, instead of donating this, I'm getting some money.
Catches on pretty quick. All right, we'll just say a quick hello to everyone in the chat. Thank them for coming along. We've got PDB, obviously, Watcher1421. G'day, mate. Thanks for coming in. We got Ken. He started a little channel at the moment, so thanks for coming in, Ken. We like your videos. Adelaide Crows are the best. Thanks for coming. They are struggling, but second last sales, game on couple, just me. What's up, Down Under? Ben is in the chat as well. Thanks for coming on.
5 a.m.
He set his alarm to come and say hi to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Really appreciate it. We got Megan.
And everything.
Yeah. And just me, Kathy, so far. So thanks, everyone, for coming along. If you do have any questions for Drew and Sarah along the way, please drop them in the chat. We'll try and get them to answer them for you. We've got a couple questions of our own to sort of keep us going. So do you have a question for Drew and Sarah?
Yeah. So have you both always lived in Sydney?
You can
I'll
start.
go first. Yeah. So I grew up in Victoria. So I was born in Bendigo, but I moved up to Sydney when I was like 10 years old. So I probably spent most of my life in Sydney. But I've moved around quite a bit within Sydney as well. So yeah, Sydney for the better part of my life.
Yeah. And I grew up in Wollongong, literally 100 meters from the beach. I was a bit of a beach baby. Used to bodyboard like every day. Lived down in Wollongong up until I finished university about 3 and a bit years ago.
Yeah.
Sarah got me a job, moved to Sydney, moved in with her, and then been here ever since.
Yeah, it sounds like I almost kidnapped you in a way.
A little bit.
He seems happy.
We got Tommy dropping some controversial discussion in chat. What's up? Remove these two guys and let the beautiful women speak.
No way.
Good to that.
We're in suits.
Yeah, we got to hustle together. It's our thing.
Yeah. It's all about the couple life here.
Couples that thrift together.
So you guys mentioned that you'd sort of been doing, bits and pieces on the side with Petey and stuff. When did you guys really get serious about it? And when did you sort of realize that it's something that you want to do long term?
I don't know. Initially, like we said, we listed a bunch of our stuff that we weren't using. Like I'm just looking through my spreadsheet earlier just to jog my memory and some of the first initial sales. And like the first sale was the drone that I used like 10 times.
Yeah.
So I bought a drone to make cinematic vlog stuff on YouTube and filmed a bit of stuff, but it was too scary to fly half the time. So I ended up just selling it, and we made. Well, I bought it, but like $850 back on it, and I think I spent about $1,100 on it at the time.
Yeah.
So that went into sort of pay off part of like one of my personal loans. So that sort of triggered me to be like, all right, let's take this more seriously. But in terms of, I guess, making the content and the brand that we're sort of rolling with, I think we're in the Facebook group for a while and following you guys and Damo and everyone initially, and then I think we were getting information from the Facebook group to a certain degree, and then we started watching a lot more of like yourselves video YouTube channel and everyone else, and then it was just like I've always enjoyed making videos. Like I had a previous YouTube channel for some nutrition stuff that I was doing, and I had the experience in the software, and I enjoyed sort of the graphic design side of things. So I'm like, let's just post us in our journey. And that's sort of where it began, I guess, in terms of the content. Yeah,
just to have some more fun on the side, I guess, like just showing what it is that we're doing. Mistakes and our wins and all that kind of stuff.
Plenty of mistakes.
Yeah, plenty of mistakes.
Glad you did. Your videos are awesome.
Yeah, you definitely have brought a new level of like editing to the game, and it kind of pushes everyone else to get better as well. So
we filmed our first one in portrait.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch our first like 10 videos.
When I jumped in, like there weren't a lot of people doing, like, I'm not saying I'm an amazing editor. Like I have general knowledge of how to edit videos and like mix audio and stuff like that. I'm by no means like everything's self-taught essentially from YouTube, but I did see a gap in like the level of production. I thought that's something we can add to the community. But if it inadvertently improves everyone else's game, then that's a huge win for sure.
Yeah, we've still got some way to go, but I think we're getting there.
It's hard.
PDV chat challenge. If the video gets 50 likes, both myself and Archie will crash the screen.
Oh, promises.
Ben's saying he's so tired but must watch. Ben, go have a sleep, man. I know it's early.
Watch it back.
Yeah. He just wants to see Archie, I think. He's in love with Archie.
Hello all.
Tammy, she won one of our She won one of our pop vinyls.
I think so.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Gary's asking favorite op shop to thrift at.
So Gary's hit me up on the DMs. I think he wants to see where our honey spots are.
Yeah, we don't really have any honey spots because it's all more luck than anything else, and because we only really have like either a Wednesday we can sort of go, or sometimes a Friday or Saturday. Usually the Saturdays aren't the best of hauls because we tend to go for, especially at Salvos, we go for like the color discounted stuff, and I think by like Friday, Saturday isn't always much, but yeah, early of the week is when we tend to get, I guess, the better finds. So it doesn't matter really what op shop, it's just early the better.
But it's also, I guess, I don't know if he means like what, like if it's Salvos or Vinny's or whatever, but I'm interpreting it as like best Sydney ones.
Yeah.
We don't really go to, like, we go to the same ones like maybe once a month.
Yeah,
we
there's heaps around.
I'm more interested in finding new ones every week rather than hitting the same ones up every time. And then, after 6 months, have a mapped out in terms of the ones that I enjoy or are laid out well and that sort of thing. But I guess we can give them like one insight into one store. Like what was our go-to back before we moved out this way would be Salvo's Lidcombe.
Lidcombe, yeah. Salvo's Lidcombe.
Hot tip.
Yeah,
hot tip for you.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Rod.
I've been in the shower. That's the place I've been.
Yeah. No.
Even Rod put on a spiffy shirt for reselling life. What's the one thing each of you would do differently if you were starting your reseller journey today? From Michaela.
Ooh, probably, I guess, like trust my gut a little bit more. So if I can't find something or if I'm unsure about it, I tend to put it back now rather than being like taking a gamble, and checking comps a lot more now as well. So that's probably the two big things. I didn't do that a lot when I started out. I was like, oh, this is cool.
What would I do differently? I mean, there's tons of things. I'd probably just get a bit more bankroll and just go and just splurge a lot more money up front and just for the first month just list rather than sourcing every week. Just get a huge lot of sourcing and just list. But but it's probably better you source than list rather than doing it in huge lumps because you can learn every time you source.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't learn as much, I find.
No.
I think
sourcing the more that we tend to learn about brands and things.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I think if you splurge too early as well, like you haven't had the time to develop like a base knowledge, and you probably make more mistakes earlier on. So
we got some weird stuff.
Yeah, we bought like 2 pallets of books at the very start.
I guess would just be get your postage knowledge down before you start. That's probably that's going to save you money up front for sure.
Especially now. Do you have a favorite category to sell on eBay?
I mean, we have a favorite, not really favorites.
No, like easiest and I guess like hassle-free thing to like do is jeans is probably like go-to. Yeah. That's probably, it's always the first area we tend to look at as well as jeans because it's the easiest to flick through. But if we find anything that's kind of like cool and pop culturist, that's always really mad. So Star Trek, anything like that would be awesome. But yeah, definitely jeans is our go-to.
I feel like at this point, we don't really have a favorite or one category that sells more than others because we're just still diving into everything at the same time. I guess from now till Christmas, we'll just sell and do whatever, and then reassess come January what selling heaps for us and what we enjoy listing and sort of optimize what we do in the future.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say band shirts because you like.
I love a good band shirt, but like that's not a sustainable.
Yeah.
Long time. You want like it is sort of, but not in strap anyway. Yeah. Not compared
good
to
way to go about it.
Vintage Nirvana shirts. And
stuff.
Is there a category that you would never consider selling?
That's a really tough one because I know there's like heaps out there. Probably not. Like if I do enough research, but I don't know, like maybe car parts or something. I don't know.
Probably odds anything car related. Not interested.
We don't know anything about cars.
Heavy furniture.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah's into furniture. Like that's sort of a direction we want to take the channel in the future. Yeah.
Well, like because I like refurbishing furniture. Like I like to sand it all back and repaint it and all that kind of thing. So I'll do a little bit more of that. I think because that's a little bit more expensive to buy. But yeah, I'll probably do a little bit more of that in the future. I love the
just not cars.
Yeah, just not cars.
And do you think you'd tend more toward like Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree with that kind of stuff, or how would you go about it?
We haven't really thought about it. It's just something we repurposed a few items at our previous place. We had like the tiniest balcony where we have a double garage now, so we can essentially buy a table and like a good sander and stuff, and then just buy something and try and make it better and see if we can double our money on it on Facebook, and then
so much room for activities.
Cool.
You can have a workshop.
About moving is just like all the space, and now because we're cold, we need to buy more now. Happens.
Rod's asking, what year is that Gibson Les Paul behind you?
Unfortunately, that's not a Gibson Les Paul. That is a Samick guitar that I've had since I was about 15. Got me through my HSC days. It's the cheapest guitar you'll probably find anywhere.
Rob's in. We saw him at Savers the other night. That was cool.
Yeah, came and said, hi everyone. General question. Do you use photo editing software such as PhotoFuse, the paid version, to create clean white background without image degradation?
So I got a bunch of like camera gear. And initially when we started in like late April up to probably August-ish.
Yeah.
We're just using our cameras for everything.
Yeah, turn up the brightness. Yes, you can see a nice white background.
But since then, I've been using my camera a lot more. It's not an amazing camera. It's like a $700 Panasonic camera. But I've been using, like, I edit my videos with Adobe Premiere Pro, and I have the Adobe Suite. So I just use like the app's called Lightroom, just a photo editing software. I take photos with my camera in square
format.
Dimension, and then essentially put them into Lightroom and then try and white balance it in there. As opposed, I imagine you can do it a lot faster on your phone. I just enjoy getting into Lightroom and using Lightroom, and I mean I'm paying for it, so I may as well use it. It takes a little bit more time, and you got to upload, and everything's on desktop rather than phone. But I don't mind it at all at this point.
Yeah, and like on
you enjoy the process too.
As well, you got a little bit more photo editing on the new iOS update, which is the brightness and stuff. Yeah.
I make sure I have good lighting, and if needed, I'll edit the photo in the eBay listing. That's very similar to what we do. So you take all the photos because you're much more consistent with them than I am. And usually she nails 9 out of 10 and then just adjusts a few.
And I find even though I like what I do is I select the white portion in the background, and then it should make everything come into like correct color. But even
it does.
Sometimes you load it into eBay, like we do it on the desktop, and it's obviously it should be matching the white color of the actual eBay background. And if it's not, there's a little brightness meter you can use there, and you can bump that up a little bit without ruining the photo too much. The one in the app blows everything or increases the brightness on everything that I find.
Yeah.
The one on the desktop will increase pretty much just the white in the background. So that's a bit of a tip.
That's a hot tip.
Yeah, we don't use the editing app in eBay because it is too short.
On desktop it's really good because you can just boost it until it matches the background. You know it's a perfect white background.
Yeah, we just don't do it because we do everything from phone, so we don't adjust from phone because it gets crazy.
I want to try it now.
Have you ever been scammed on eBay?
Ooh.
No.
You can't scam us.
Not yet. I know it's going to happen to everybody. You said we'll never get returns. Like it's going to happen. Yeah. Have you guys ever been scammed?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
That's
all right.
I like to think I'm pretty cluey, but I mean,
they will encounter scammers, and maybe one of them got us.
Yeah,
but the others have been like, no, sir.
One got us, but it was a low value item, so we just let it go. So you guys were mentioning YouTube before, and you sort of, I guess your YouTube's growing quite quickly. Is there sort of an end goal for you guys? Is there a number that you want to be getting to, or is there a certain like line of content that you want to be bringing out, or are you just sort of recording as you go and seeing what happens?
Initially, that was it. I'm trying to be a bit more scheduled in the approach for the coming months and just planning for the future. We enjoy doing our Saturday night lives.
Yeah.
I was going to initially do them every fortnight, and I enjoy doing them every week. We got to chat about it more, but we seem to be able to talk our way through an hour every Saturday somehow. So we'll probably maintain that. And then just drop a video or two outside of that a week. So ideally 2 to 3 videos a week. In terms of the actual content of the videos that we film, I guess
we are like trying to change it up. We had a lot of car ones just because it's easier and you don't have like Archie barking in the background or anything like that. We're trying to change up locations, just make it more interesting. But I don't think we've really,
I'm just
have a plan of the content that we're putting out.
I'm happy to try anything. Like what was our Friday off? We had a day off last week. We went sourcing. Yeah. And rather than doing a sourcing video, we did a more of a day in the life video where us sort of behind the scenes almost, and how I calculate or like do a basic comp in store and see if it's profit there, and just a basic idea of how we draft and list. Yeah. So a bit more of the more practical approach. And then down the line, I guess number wise, 1,000 would be nice, but we're just happy to just trying to be creative and inventive with the videos rather than having just the same old thrift tour sort of format.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving into, I guess we can film videos more, like you said, repurposing furniture.
Yep.
All the way up to like I guess the ultimate goal would be like flip a house or something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be wicked.
Yeah. Tiny homes, those kind of shows. Love it. Yeah.
Well, I want to watch everything that you just said, so you have no trouble.
As long as like whatever we're doing brings like value to at least like one person, like we at least create something for them, then it's worth it. So not
absolutely.
Anyway.
Well, you got 2 people here.
Yeah.
You've already self-taught your kind of editing, and it sounds like you got Photoshop all sorted, which I am terrible at. What's been the hardest thing to learn so far?
On YouTube or just in everything?
In general.
Does all that kind of editing side? Like I have no idea about it all.
I think for me it was brands.
Yeah.
At this sort of point, like the eBay's sort of, it's fine. We don't really have any issues there. We're across 90% of it, I would imagine. I guess with the YouTube, I'm pretty good with editing. I don't need to like go and search for a tutorial about how to do something. I can do something. It's more of just mentally being like, where do I draw the line between this needs to be perfect or this image or graphic needs to be perfect, and just drawing a line on, is it good? If it's good enough, put it out, who cares, rather than putting too much emphasis in making it amazing.
It's like the hardest is like trying not to be a perfectionist when you're editing.
And just like storytelling, like YouTube, you can do heaps of types of format, but like I guess the storytelling and trying to mix storytelling and education and stuff, trying to merge that,
like the balance,
merge that world.
One of those Illuminati things again. Fairy of Sarcasm, the what sold videos are so helpful. So keep putting them out. That's awesome.
Well, we found that super helpful. Like when we're starting out, like we're watching just everybody's what sold and be like, oh, we have to look out for that brand.
You don't have to pay that much attention. You just you're doing something and they just say G-Star and you're like, oh yeah, G-Star. Just after you hear it 10 times, you're like, oh, I'm on the hunt for G-Star next time.
Yeah. Just learning all those sort of brands that aren't found often, I think, is the hard one. But you guys already found some pretty cool gear. Your Acme that you found a while back.
Yeah.
Have you relisted?
The jumpers, the jumpers listed, and
we had a couple of like real lowball offers on the jumper, but
we're like
sit on it for a while.
And as a couple, have you guys sort of worked out a routine that works for you both? Like, does one of you do photos and one does a listing, or is there sort of strengths that you both bring to the game that one's better than the other at one thing and the other reverse?
We're getting a little bit better, because I sort of jumped in late. Drew already sort of had like a bit of a process going, so I'm just trying to come in there, I guess, help keep them organized and things, if that makes sense, and like sort of have a bit of a, I see you laughing, it's a little bit more on the organized side and just have a bit of a process. But I think we're starting to get our rhythm, so we'll sort of like almost draft together. So he'll like start creating the listing and everything, and I'll do the measurements, find the materials, all that kind of stuff, have that ready. Then once that's done, we'll pop it in a pile and they'll be ready to take a photo. So it's kind of like, sort of doing that together. Yeah. So
initially, it's still evolving in terms of the workflow. We're still trying to find our balance. At the moment, it's more, let's just draft everything we have, put it in a pile, and then I'm happy even if we don't list anything for 5 days. Once we start taking photos, it's just going to steamroll
because everything's just ready to go. All we need to do is pop on the photos, and that's it.
I think. Look, Mum, you guys come across 100% genuine, natural, and camera. Big reason for your success.
So true. It's so true.
I mean,
I'm like the biggest dag, and there's like no way that I can hide that. So I'm just like all just dag out. Really, it's
I'm too nervous or anxious to like try and be someone else most of the time.
Love it. Be yourself.
Yeah, you can't fake being anyone else for a long period of time anyway, so it's going to come out.
Bron wants to know, how does everyone prioritize their relationships so that reselling isn't the main focus?
You're pretty better at answering that. That's pretty my main focus.
I don't know, because like it's a bit bit of a tough call because like reselling is something that we do together, so it's like a part of our relationship, if that makes sense. So if we're talking about reselling, or even like planning out to go sourcing one day, that's like an activity we get to do together. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's not like prioritizing eBay over anything else. It's like, it's a thing that we do together. So it's hard to explain, but yeah, I don't find that I'm missing anything out by like taking photos one day or going out sourcing. I don't think it limits our relationship whatsoever.
Yeah, and I generally take, not saying you don't do any work, but for like the last little while, you've definitely helped and we have equal share. Previously, it was me doing majority of everything.
It was,
and then I would feel guilty for putting too much emphasis into that and try and spend more time. And I didn't want to force her into this. It was more of a, I can tell she enjoys it, but she will increase her like capacity to contribute on her own schedule, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because say you've merged.
Exactly. Yeah, because he's part-time, I'm full-time, so I tend to work a little bit on more, but I'm getting a little bit better at being not less selfish, but like just, putting more effort into it because it's something that's going to benefit both of us in the future, not just one of us. Yeah.
So has it changed your day-to-day quite a bit?
I don't know, like we always get like happy smiles being like, we're made a sale, and like just symbols or something across, so that's always good.
I would say our normal, like the days where we're working doesn't really affect it too much. I might spend an hour or two like packing something and doing a couple of things. It's more our days off are the only days that have really changed.
Yeah. But I really have fun like going to upshops and things like that. And when Drew was doing like his nutrition thing, that was something that he would only be able to do himself. So it would be editing his videos and kind of like focusing on that for himself, which is awesome. But this is something that I can sort of jump in and contribute and have fun with as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Pommy's off to pick up his lad, so catch up later. Thanks, Pommy.
See you, Rod.
Thanks, Rod.
So what's been your best flip so far? Like we've seen some of the cool stuff that you guys have already sold, but what is the piece that really that you have loved to sell so far?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this,
Yeah.
and like I was going through our sales, and we don't have any like crazy stories where we bought something for $5 and sold it for $500. Our best flip ended up being a return, so I think that's kind of
still one.
It turned into a moot sale.
Yeah. So that was like a cardigan kind of thing. I think we bought it for like, was it $5?
No, it was $10, and we sold it to someone in LA for $250.
Yeah, but we mistyped the, like we had all the description right, but in the title we forgot to put wool blends. But cashmere blend. Sorry. Yeah. But that got returned, which is totally fine. As mine.
One of her listings.
Yeah, one of my early ones.
It was you.
I guess
Yes, I learned with that kind of thing.
Other than that, like our biggest like dollar value, and it's probably seemed like nothing to most people, was just that VHS combo we sold.
Yeah.
I think it was, we paid $20 for it. It didn't have RCA cable.
Yeah.
So I just bought one for $5. So I think cost of goods was like around $25, $26, and it sold for $140 the next day. So it's about
$90 the next day.
So
about $85, $90 profit. That was our most profitable item, but I don't know, we're yet to get that.
Yeah.
It'll come. And conversely, what's the worst sale that you've had?
I mean,
probably something you got caught out on shipping, right?
No, well, I haven't really been caught out on shipping. Like internationally, you lose $1 or $2, but not like no profit. There was a book we sold. We at the initially when I started the sort of thrifting, I went and got 2 huge book hauls from people that were all free, very tattered, very discolored books.
Yeah.
And I think I got the new shipping fees the other day, and I made 8 cents profit. It was on a free item. So that was probably the worst sale. Yeah. 8 cents.
Bron, did you guys seek advice from an accountant before starting out, or is this something you will do? Curious to see who's getting back-end stuff sorted and when is a good time to get this done.
Is there a shrug emoji?
Yeah. An accountant, but it is definitely something that we're going to do in the future. We're still a small time, so we don't, I guess, by law, don't have to do anything just yet. Yeah,
I mean, it's only very early into the financial year. Yeah. But we've got everything's very meticulous in the way I list things. Like organized the spreadsheet and receipts and whatnot.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just play it by ear until like the start of like Q2 or like, I don't know, March-ish of next year and see where we're at and then go from there. It's just one of those things that we're having too much fun to be bogged down with the boring accounting stuff.
I think that first year you just get your head around the game and then you start thinking about, paying tax or whatever it needs to be. So
Kathy put in a shrug emoji for you. There you
go. So what's a grail piece that you guys want to find in a thrift store? What's an ultimate item that you'd like to find?
I mean, ultimate item we'll probably want to keep for ourselves.
I
don't know. I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
I just want some like badass vintage Star Trek stuff. And I'm all over Depop trying to find stuff at the moment. I know Leighton in the group has a couple of pieces that I can't quite afford at the moment. For me, something like that, like a vintage 1980s or 70s Star Trek shirt or something.
Yeah. Like we're not
so cool.
Yeah. Because we're not big collectors on ourselves. So like we're still learning about, I guess, the grail items and like sort of the pop culture vintage stuff that always sell. But anything, we're big sci-fi fans. So anything sci-fi, we're always like super happy to pick up. Like,
But in terms of like grail item to flip, probably like just, like a vintage, like the Ramstein shirts that you were selling or like that sort of thing.
They're nuts.
Like the Mambos and things like that.
Mambo Louds. Yeah.
$300 would be like, I'm happy with.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuji. Denny saying, my standard ask, what are some of your techniques for faster listing and efficient time management?
Batching is like the biggest thing for us.
Like having a production line almost set up.
Just doing everything here, completing that, moving on. Like we started out taking a few measurements, taking photos, and like it was like double handling to a degree.
Yeah.
I find, like we said, just getting 50 things drafted, 50 things taken photos of, 50 things scheduled, speeds the workflow. You're not tripping over yourself or have lights and measurements and stuff all over the room. I find that's probably the biggest time saver for us.
Robin wants to know, do you run a PL sheet to track sales and profit?
Yeah, he's an Excel spreadsheet genius.
I did science at uni.
I know.
I know how to put a spreadsheet.
I love the spreadsheet.
So he has everything set up. So location where we bought stuff, timestamp when it's listed, all the information you can think of. He's got it in just one big spreadsheet. So
multiple tabs.
Yeah,
but
it's there.
I love it.
Mind-blowing.
I love it.
Yeah, he did like for one of his assignments for uni was like just all data entry, so he's used to it.
I love in your what solds that you can say, and we sold this and it sold in 16 days and 3 hours.
I did like 64 cents. I'm like, let's not do that. Let's just like round it up from now. Like, whatever.
Do you resell for a monetary benefit, i.e. a wedding, save for a house holiday, etc., or looking to make this full-time and replace current income? Thanks, Bron.
I mean, the immediate thing would pay off our personal loans, unnecessary just personal debt for just vet fees and just rubbish that you accumulate. And then move towards, if we really, really think about going full time, we'll take it seriously.
And still really enjoy it when we're at that point of being able to drop down or do it full time, then definitely. Like, who wouldn't want to work from home and be able to drive around and go to different places? So we'll probably that would be awesome. Definitely in the mind to be able to do one day.
But the loans need to be taken care of.
Debts first. Well, that's what we mentioned before is like we saved up a bit on our eBay and we used that to move. So we paid for like bonds and removal lists and all that kind of stuff and cleaning the old place.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So just not have to worry about that is amazing.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of money to upgrade and then we've got to build and fill this house and then upgrade again, level up.
Snowball.
Right now in terms of funds.
We'll get there. Yeah.
It's cool to know how long an item took to sell through. A lot of people don't include that usually.
So that's something I definitely keep a track of. I don't generally, all the free items we got, like all the free books, I generally don't keep a day listed, sort of just because it's not we don't have anything invested in it. It's just a free item.
Yeah.
All the stuff we've purchased, I'll keep a track of how many days it is before it's listed, and then I guess every quarter analyze what's selling and what category and stuff like that, and how long. Like there's some very long tail stuff in our last what sold video from like 150 days. I think something I want to do in a future video is, because I have everything in chronological order from when we bought it. So maybe go to the first 50 items and just try and get rid of them and discount them or upgrade the listing somehow, and then just work our way down.
Yeah,
it's really useful to know.
Especially when you're still building as well, like getting those processes in early is a good way to ingrain it. That's something that we sort of struggle with. Is we've got a lot of really old listings that have poor quality photos or titles or descriptions because we were learning and they haven't sold, but we don't have the time now to go back and fix them. So they just sit there. Whereas if you can do it early, you've already got that process ingrained. So
yeah, you're going to stay on top of it. It's going to be awesome.
Case in point,
I was going to say
DMX
the shiny pants. We updated that. Sold.
Did you ship the ruler as well?
Yeah, little do you know.
Reselling is paying for our build. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
What's up, down under? I went to see a tax agent last Monday just to make sure I'm doing it all correctly. Figured it'll be easier to fix and adjust 2 months worth of stuff versus 10 months down the track. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Be proactive while you can, for sure.
Yeah.
Here's a good question. When is the next Thrift Off Look Mum versus Aussie Thrifters?
Yeah. Has it been a month yet?
I think we're
pretty close.
Yeah.
We're going to do a garage sale trail one, but it's not really a thrift for fortune in a sense, is it?
Yeah.
Garage sale of fortune.
We'll do another one.
I reckon, before the end of October for sure.
Yeah.
You're on.
It is October.
We'll have to get some strict guidelines so we don't break the rules again.
Yeah, you hear that? You hear that? You're not the judge.
I love you, baby.
We'll get a proper third party from the chat or someone who's like
do you guys go to garage sales or markets or just upshop?
No garage sales. I think I went to one initially, and I'm pretty upset that I bought that DJ Hero that I'm sitting on. So Saturday, I mean, no garage sales. We've been to one since we started.
We went to one together, but that was just like a grumpy old lady just trying to get rid of her stuff. So we're just like, we're just gonna go now.
I think once we do this garage sale trail and get a bit of a momentum and just feel for it, it'll be better. But every time we have a Saturday off, I'll spend the Friday night combing through Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace and create somewhat of a map. But they're all like 15, 20 minutes away. I'm like, might as well just go thrifting at that point.
Save it up for the garage sale trail when you can make it worth it.
Yeah, there's a couple of trash and treasure markets we go to. They're a bit of a hit and miss, and only sometimes we find stuff. But yeah, mainly upshops is when we tend to get the better things.
Put the old listings on sale. Yeah, that's a good option. We've tried
good
that,
advice.
but our photos are so bad on those old listings. I don't think I would buy it.
We just got to get rid of it.
We've got to sort it out.
Sale. So do you think that you have nailed down a good process with your reselling, or is there something that you're still looking to really tweak and get better at? Put you on the spot.
No, that's all right. Probably, I guess, more consistent with our listing. So we have like a bit of a process of like bulk drafting and things like that. But I guess you're talking about the other day, the spreadsheet that you guys made, actually, it was like actually sticking to that and sort of like making our own one. Yeah, the accountability from it. Yeah, because I don't think...
Oh, like how many listings?
Exactly, yeah. So I think we've got about like 40 items needing photos. So we just need to get, I guess, a bit more of a hustle on for that. So probably that side of things.
Probably get a bit more of a handle on item specifics now that it's so
yeah.
focused. And I mean, like a lot of us probably have used OptiSeller, and it shows you 2 or 3 like things that are sort of mandatory to a degree. But then when you list it now, it has like the number of searches for that particular refinement, I guess. And just, I guess, learning a bit more about what they are. I know a lot of them are only like 300 searches and stuff. I'm not sure how much that actually impacts your chance of selling. But if someone's filtering down for a pair of jeans through 20 style and cut and rise and everything, the more we have in there, I guess, the more opportunity we have to showing up in the search results. So in particular, clothing, just knowing different styles of jeans and stuff. So we don't have to go Googling and just hit boot cut or whatever.
Yeah.
Just item specifics in general.
And that's something we're getting better at is, like whether it's like a streamlined dress or like a halter, that kind of thing. So just knowing those kind of names as well. Yeah.
I'm useless at it.
Yeah. Like, if it's crew cut, straight leg, I don't know.
Toby repping from Adelaide, shout out to the West Side. Sup?
Hey, Toby.
Side note, love seeing Jazzy interview you, girl. You're killing it.
Hey, up in here. Thoughts on buying and selling VHS tapes? Ooh, what type?
Well, we got
free ones.
So I got a bit. I think retros were talking about VHS at one point, and I was like a bit hyped on them and bought maybe 10 or 15 for like 50 cents each. And it's just like Babe, Pig in the City and Lion King and stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't a huge investment. And then I picked up another free lot from Facebook Marketplace, only to find out they were all like ex-rental ones. So we haven't actually tested them, but I imagine they're really busted up.
Yeah.
But we've probably got 30 or 40 in total, and we've sold through like 2. And I mean, they're not up for much. They're up for like $13 or $14.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I probably would, unless I really knew it was like quite a rare one, I'd probably stray away from them from now on.
Because I know some people talk about there's like super rare Disney ones, and I think, was it you guys who were talking about horror does really well?
Some horror does really well.
Yeah, you got to be, the Disney VHS is, most of that is rubbish. So that whole thing came about by a money laundering scheme. So yeah.
Do you follow what's his name? Aussie. I don't think anyone really follows him, or like, I don't know. If
I found him the other week. I know the one you're talking about. He does like all VHS stuff. Hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's cool.
He's cool, but like he's never like part of. He's never in the community.
Yeah.
He's just
he's doing his own thing. Yeah.
It's too busy.
Gay's saying garage sale trials are not all it cracked up to be. Many people are very educated on garage sale trail day. It's true.
Yeah, but there's so much out there. The educated people might be up the next street.
Yeah. Any recommendations on learning clothing terminology, YouTubers or online guides?
Yeah, so like we said, we're probably in the same boat as you guys. We know like basic stuff.
Yeah. So I know basic female stuff, but when it comes to guys' clothes, like I'm not super knowledgeable, but Drew isn't super knowledgeable.
I mean, I wear jeans, shirts, and hoodies. Like I got no idea.
Yeah, pretty much just like I just Google still at this stage, but we started like we have a whiteboard, so we started sort of like writing down sort of like general sizes of things and whether it's considered like small, short, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think women's is a category that you really have to be really switched on with it. Men's not so much because guys just look for jeans. Okay. VH horror seems to be a thing. Yep, absolutely.
It's just something that I always comp. I never just pick up a VHS and go, that'll probably be good. I always comp those ones.
Yeah.
Good advice. Just trying to catch up with the chat.
How good is Lions Club? Oh my God. Love
Lions.
Lions.
Everyone is more educated everywhere now. Found. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Do you I have a question in terms of, being sort of, 6 to 8 months in now. Do you have advice for brand new resellers? Is there something that one little key piece of information that you would pass on?
Just enjoy it. Like, what's the point of doing it and going and just like hunting for jeans and stuff if it's just a drag on you? I would say enjoy what you're sourcing. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
If you can enjoy it and you make money off it, then like there's nothing better. Like it's the best.
That was the perfect piece of advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Pinterest is good for style names.
Yeah, like the little charts. I'm like, what is a boat neck?
Pinterest.
Perfect. Yeah, because I use Pinterest to look at like furniture and stuff. So
and it's just really concise and summarized. You can just screenshot it and you've got it forever.
Yeah.
Or create a board or whatever.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, a folder.
Hi guys, my first live. Well, thanks for coming.
Hello,
Finally caught up with my fellow Aussie Thrifters. That's awesome.
I saw you in another chat today and you said hi from Australia and I was like, who are you? Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So we've got 15 minutes left. So if anyone has any more questions,
I do. I have a question.
Drop them in the chat, and we'll make sure we get to them. What's your question?
So I know that your dear friend Petey comes around thrifting with you and knows all about your biz. So I'm curious if your other kind of close friends and family know exactly what you do, or a little bit. Are they supportive? Do they think you're weirdos?
Well, we sort of stopped taking Pete because he started not filming.
He was cutting our grass to be honest.
Yeah, so we're like, you can fend for yourself now. But yeah. Well, like I've told my mom, she's like super excited about it, and like my dad's in retail as well, and we told him we're doing this on the side. He's like, that's awesome, making money on the side. So like I've told my parents and my family and things, and yeah, they're like, that's awesome, like just earning some extra money on the side.
Yeah. My mum and dad doesn't really care, but my mum loves it. Like she rang me earlier and was like, I haven't heard from you for like a month. I'm like, yeah, I'm alive, just been hustling, trying to make you proud. You don't even know what I'm doing on the back end. She's like, we went to the tip and dad got like a crazy bargain. I'm like, what did he get? And she's like, he got a tent for $5. I'm like, oh, cool, you've got like 5 tents already. But I had a tent in there. They got a dome tent and like a 12-man tent in one for $5.
Oh my God, your mum would have been so excited.
My dad's making
so cool.
Making mum proud.
Making mum proud.
Most random things. Like, oh, we got some 6 chairs. Would you like some?
Yeah, she's like, do you want some more towels? And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Always finding stuff.
Bron's coming in with all the epic questions. Thank you, Bron. Do you set a budget for sourcing?
We do. So like usually depending on
Fair enough.
We're like, all right, we can't go over this amount. So we always have like a max amount. Yeah. So like on the other day, like 100 was like our max. So
sort of not really.
Yeah.
Depends on the day and how much listing and stuff there is to do.
Mm-hmm.
If there's like nothing to do, then we'll just spend most of the monthly profits. But if it's like we've got 50 items to list, we've got the day off tomorrow, I'd like to go out just to get out with you, but we'll probably spend as much as we would if we didn't have anything to draft. It's more of just have fun tomorrow.
It's our one day off together this week. So when we have the one day off, we sort of have a plan. It's half day source and then half day list. So and then when we have 2 days off together, then that's more of like a full day sourcing and then like a full day listing.
What do you do for downtime?
Oh, it's like we listen to music and stuff, and we just like
downtime is looking after Archie, to be honest. Dog parks, picking up food, making dinner,
watching movies in bed. Yeah.
I love dog parks. We don't have a dog, but more about it.
Just like running around like this huge Doberman and stuff, like it's having.
Explain Depop and are you selling well?
I guess a simple way of describing Depop would be
like Instagram,
like a Instagram marketplace.
Yeah.
It's very trendy. I guess it's 15 to 25-ish to 30-ish people. Millennials, as you call them.
Mm-hmm.
Just trendy stuff that's in fashion. A lot of vintage stuff.
Yeah.
Like vintage band merch and movie stuff. And
so pretty much anything you sort of see at like general pants, so like that 90s sort of like surf skate style, that's a lot of like what's on there, especially like all those like YouTubers as well. So like you got the Gucci and all that kind of stuff too. Yeah.
It's in terms of are we selling well, we've only got like maybe 25 items listed on there, and they're all like $25, $30 band shirts. There's nothing crazy on there.
Yeah.
Just more of an experiment to test it. We've sold maybe 3 or 4 things on there. But we want to push it a bit further and try and find more sort of grail style items and take better photos with, I guess, model them. And we have to be models.
Well, we're opening up a second one. So we've got one for just mainly band shirts, and we're going to open up a second one for like not mainly female, but like I wear guys and girls clothes. So it'll just be whatever we think is kind of like cool and what people will wear. So
gotta be hip. You gotta be down with the kids on Depop.
We sort of started a few weeks back, and it's we haven't sold anything, but we're just building.
It's a lot of fun, just like because it's not new, but it's like just something sort of interesting to sort of dive into. Because I'm assuming you guys know like eBay like the back of your hand, so it's kind of cool to have like a new area.
And
if eBay could stop changing, we might.
There's a lot more Aussie users and like buyers and sellers on there than you would imagine. Like there's a lot of sellers on
I've seen quite a few.
under the radar.
Tracy is asking if we're brothers. We are part of Brew, so
Suit and cap.
Yeah.
Is your sourcing self-sustaining now?
Try and say that 10 times fast.
Using only your profits, or do you use your personal income to build your inventory quicker?
Great question.
Yeah. We're still putting about $35 each a week into it.
So generally what happens is like this is the perfect time of the month to sort of explain it. So we get the monthly sort of fee from all your postage fees and eBay fees, whatever. Yeah. Which ours was like the 400 something. Generally I pay that, whatever's left in the PayPal account, I'll sort of generally split it 50-50. Like to withdraw it to a card so we can use it at upshops, leave the other half in there for supplies or other eBay purchases, and then we just sort of add an extra 35 in each a week, just pepper it and build it up a bit more. But I
think it won't be long before you guys are pretty much just using profits. Like once you get that ball rolling and get that stock through, so
the 35 we're investing each a week pretty much covers the store fee, bubble wrap and supplies and stuff, that sort of thing,
housekeeping stuff.
Cara had a first Depop sale.
Go Cara. Someone's had a sale. We're all dipping our toe in.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I feel getting very specific on item specifics will open up sellers to more returns, especially with soft specs are very opinion based.
Oh, see, I thought it would do the opposite. I was like, I've got all my specifics, so you can't say nothing.
I think from a bias perspective, most people will look at titles and photos. I think item specifics are more for eBay's ranking if
you see it.
I'm not too concerned about being super accurate with it as long as I'm hitting the mandatory stuff. But it is a good point. There might be a few that look at it and go.
Something I've considered as well. Like if everything's correct and there's one specific that's off, like for our material, it was a cashmere blend, but we wrote cashmere mistakenly, like so a refund. Like,
I guess it just have to be sort of like extra cautious in a way and just make sure everything's good.
It's a good point.
Can anyone do a video on how to start Depop in Oz?
Way too many USA.
Do you guys have a video coming out about Depop at all?
I mean, we could do one.
Do it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys could do one. We all could do one.
We'll do one. We'll do one.
Sure. All right. Sweet. Oh, because for our second one, so we can do one for the second one.
Yeah, good idea. We haven't started that second one yet.
Yeah.
Ron, just for you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you guys as well. Yeah. And everyone in the chat too, obviously.
Yeah. I didn't do anything. Brad was like, I'm logging into Depop. I think I made a thing. I'll put some pictures in.
Here's a good question. What sort of profit are you guys trying to make on average per item?
Don't really have a number.
No, we don't have a number. Like the goal first is to like the previous question, like to be self-sustaining. So I guess once we get to that one where we're not putting in our own money, then we can sort of reevaluate to get like the dollar marks. But we're not cycling year for year yet. And I know that to get a really good understanding of your profits and what you can sell, like you just need that full year first, and then we sort of be able to have a better idea of like what our margins would be, and I guess what our goals and things.
Generally speaking, like even like the cheapest stuff that we buy, like the jeans or like a band t-shirt is probably the perfect example. We buy them for $5 and might only sell them for 25 or 30. We're still like doubling our money. We're investing $5, making 5 profits, so we're getting the 10 back to reinvest. So that's on like some are far more beyond that, but that's probably like worst case scenario for most sales.
At least that.
Elizabeth's saying, I do one-off payments per week of 150 with eBay, so I don't get hit with a big invoice.
No one likes a big invoice.
That is definitely a good idea.
No, item 6 are great as long as you're putting accurate information.
Just be careful.
I hope it's going to be positive and not it's in trouble.
I guess the reselling community has really helped us out and sort of changed our perspective on a lot of things. How has the reselling community impacted you guys? Has it been positive? Has it been negative? Like how's that worked?
It's been like
I don't think we haven't had a negative experience.
No, it's been like positive the whole entire time. I'm just trying to think. It's like no matter like what questions we ask, like we can always find an answer. Like everybody's super supportive. Yeah, it's been awesome. Like it's such a good learning tool, really. Like the whole group, being able to reach out, having the videos that everybody's posting. Like it's all of it's awesome. Like it's amazing. I don't think we'd be this far where we are if it wasn't for everybody else.
Yeah, and I've been in a bunch of other realms when I was studying and stuff, and nutrition Facebook groups for nutritionists and stuff, and there's always a lot of judgment and I don't know how you describe it, but it's not as inviting and welcoming as the reseller community. Like there's a lot of competition, I guess you'd say, which I mean everyone here is competing to make sales, but we're not competing head to head in a sense, because there's so much room for everyone to sell stuff. Like it's not direct competition. So I guess that's why has that positive side to it. But yeah, we've never had a negative experience.
No.
Super helpful. Everyone on the Facebook group, everyone on our YouTube and Instagram, super helpful and supportive.
It's been, like I said, we wouldn't be as far as we've come if it wasn't for everybody else and all their great advice. And
and we just hope
That's
that we
awesome.
can add to it as well in the future.
Exactly.
I'm so glad that people seem able to be able to separate like being competitive and being supportive, and they can actually both happen at once.
Yeah. I think with reselling, like you're doing a lot of stuff in your house and you don't have that sort of like,
interaction.
Yeah. So I think
the water cooler,
where everyone's more open to have these sort of discussions. So it's really cool.
You get a bit of FOMO from like other people, like the stuff that you guys find. Like we don't find anything like that in our stores. So we're like, like we want to get some bloody R.M. Williams or some Doc Martens and flip them, but it's like it's encouraging us to.
It pushes us to do more. Yeah. Like not only is it supportive, but it's like it's not inspiring, but it's just like it
helps you continue. Like you want to continue growing and learning, and you don't want to become stale and fall to the wayside compared to everybody else.
Danny's saying this is one of the most supportive groups I've ever encountered. Freaking love all you guys.
Love you.
Question: what's the first section of the thrift shop you go to? Man, tongue ties.
Depending on the mood, most of the time it is jeans. Because like I was saying before, it's the easiest. But lately I've sort of been going to dresses as well, just because of the weather. But mainly jeans first.
I like to go to the jeans because that's the quickest one I can go through, and I know straight away if I've actually made money from being at that store in the first sort of 5 to 10 minutes. And then I generally go to shirts because I know there's like shirts. We haven't got any like badass shirts yet, but I know I'm just gonna find something soon.
Your Who shirt was pretty badass.
Yeah, but it was like it was like brand new.
Okay.
It was like a reprint.
Right.
But t-shirts, I'm always on the hunt for a cool shirt. So like probably those. Electronic, like I'm on the hunt for like a hero quest. I just want to find one. Just I found one. So generally hit up board games and like toys and stuff. DVDs and books and stuff probably last because we've already got so much stored up. So
this is a pretty important question. Is it Archie time?
You got 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, get him in.
I guess Peter's making go and get him.
Yeah, all right, I'm back.
Ben got up early just to see Archie. Yeah.
One thumb up for Archie, drop 2 for Peter and Archie.
Yeah.
How brutal to be like, Peter, stay outside. There's not enough.
When I first started reselling, it seemed like everyone disapproved, whereas now everyone is much more accepting.
That's interesting.
Here's a quick one for you. Do you use eBay for postage or Ozpost directly?
Look, he's missed you.
Not on my suit, buddy, even though I run trackies down below.
Archie distraction.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can come in.
Come in and say hi, Pete. Do you use eBay for postage or Ozpost directly? I've just signed up for Ozpost and I'm finding it takes longer and I need to wait 8 weeks to see my disc. I mean, I wouldn't be concerned about discount prices. Like, just get the items out of the door. Like, you do get a bit of a discount, but like at what expense?
That's what we've been waiting for.
I think you need to do 5 to 10 parcels or whatever to start getting your discounts. And I wouldn't worry about it. I'd just focus on the store and making profit rather than trying to save 50 cents on like per item. But we use both. At the moment, it's a bit up in the air in terms of what's cheaper. So just seeing how much it is on eBay and then Ozpost and then calculating. Obviously, international, we always do Ozpost business. But yeah.
She's not about it.
No, he's too excited.
Here's Petey. Here's Petey.
He's a good friend.
What does that say?
Hey, Petey.
I'm so confused. 3 people.
For those that don't
How
know,
does Pete fit in?
Petey is the photographer. Oh, here we go. Does anyone have any questions for Petey?
Mate.
Where did your love of filming come from?
I've always wanted to do it. I wanted to study film when I was younger. I just never got the opportunity to do it. And then, I just was put in more in situations where I'd have to use a camera. And then when Drew and I started our little challenges, it just got a bit more, I guess, motivating. And then, like helping out Drew and Sarah is awesome. I'm so glad that I'm a part of their like little climb to fame. What do you really say? But no, they're going really, really great. So that's I owe it to Drew and Sarah for keeping that.
We love your dynamic.
Yeah. And what's your favorite thing about Drew and Sarah?
Oh.
You can say
I feel like his favorite thing about me is very different to like us as a couple. Like I make his life not great at work.
No.
he's a bit of a pain in the butt, but
Yeah. What do I like about them? They're very, very motivated. I work with them at work and in this capacity. They put as much effort as they do at work as to this, so they're just going to be amazing at it. So
That's awesome.
Motivation. They're really hardworking and they're good to be around. So that's probably my favorite thing about them.
Thanks, man.
What's your favorite thing about Petey?
Petey is like, fuck. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Probably-
good answer.
No, questions for Petey? No,
He's always willing to give you a helping hand. Like case in point, like we wanted to do this live. The main thing that was preventing us was literally just Archie going crazy.
Yeah.
And we finished quite late on Tuesdays. And Petey's happy to help us to look after him so we can do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Or like go away for a weekend. He's always happy to help us.
Yeah. Like he helped us move. Like he's looked after Archie. Like so, no matter what we do, he's like always, if I've got a free day, I'll come help you out. So
You're the man, Petey.
Can Pete put on a suit and hat next time just to blend in with the locals?
All right,
Yeah.
2 minutes, guys. I'll be right back.
Really?
It's going to have a sleep. Oh my God.
Yeah, thanks, Benny. Thanks for coming along. Definitely grab some sleep because
You're wild.
Waking up early.
Reseller down others just popped in.
Hey,
G'day,
hey.
Damo.
Hello. We
Yes.
just got time to
All right, guys. So we've been on just over an hour now. So we just wanted to thank everyone for coming on.
What am I doing? Yeah.
No, it's all right.
Thank you, Petey.
Chat.
Bye. Just been on over an hour. Thanks everyone for coming along, dropping in some awesome questions. If you haven't checked out Look Mum, I'm Hustling on YouTube or Instagram, definitely hit them up. Great couple. It's great to see their journey. And
They go live on Saturdays.
yeah, live on Saturdays.
Saturday night.
So, yeah.
Sundays.
And now that football season's over, you got no excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Zero excuses.
Little bit of promo. Sunday we have Callie from Rally Roots coming on for
Off
a
schedule
international reselling life. So please join us on Sunday. It'll be around 10:30 our time. So we're really excited to have her on, get her story out to the world, and we all love Callie. So that's going to be a great chat as well.
And we all love you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. And we'll see you all next time on This Is Your Reselling Life.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.